whoever's running his PR campaign is losing his wife. Mrs. Machado is telling Mr. Machado who wears the nuts.
Who's Mr. and Mrs.? I don't even know in this.
I don't know.
I can't assume roles when you take your husband, wife's last name. I don't know.
If it's for the kids, I can't hate it. I
it's
don't
still
care.
Weird.
But
it's still weird. I don't want to hear it. Nope.
Magic in the movies.
Yes, sir. The back in the movie.
It's getting better and better.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to another discussion here at Three Shades of Whatever. I mean, I've been away from it for a little bit, for the past couple of weeks with all the, the holidays coming and holidays going and all this stuff. So I'm a little bit out of the loop on a few things that Greg says I need to catch up on. So I'm gonna let him take over for a minute here.
Shit happens, sir. Life happens. I'm gonna say this. We're gonna talk about the Ian Garry story. I'm very neutral in this, by the way. I'm giving a non-biased approach here.
Well, I'm going to be because I don't really know shit about it.
So let me back up about Ian Garry, and I'm sure people that know this story are going to know, and content creators, MMA content creators, are literally coming out with a video about this every day. You can't write this stuff. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to try to go through his story, and also he's never going to watch this, but my recommendation, if I was his manager, he can make a lot of money doing this. But I'm going to back up and kind of talk about the first time I saw Ian Garry and to just tell you in general. I was watching a press conference. I've heard of him. I don't know a lot of the up-and-comers. I love MMA, but I don't know every single guy. I've
heard the name Ian Garry.
He's at a press conference, and he's fighting Neil Magny. And he's Irish, so he has that Conor McGregor tone. And he's just as cocky and loud. So he's not one of the main guys. He is in the press conference. The first thing I noticed was, I'm like, who is this guy talking so much shit? And it was like, kind of like, it was like, I was thinking to myself, all right, maybe he could have a name one day just on the way he shit talks. But I thought personally it was a little too much too soon for not knowing who the guy was. He was telling Neil Magny that he beats his kids and everything, and he took something Neil Magny said out of context. He said because Ian Garry is young, he's gonna have to put a whooping on him like he would put a whooping on his kids. Ian Garry took it out of context and said he beats his kids. But now let's back up.
That's lame.
He was supposed to fight. That fight, he was supposed to fight Jeff Neal, or Geoff Neal, however you say his name. I don't know.
It's Jeff. I'm pretty sure it's Jeff.
This is the part of the backstory that's important and why this makes this so entertaining. Ian Garry had a t-shirt designed when he was fighting Jeff Neal, and it was Jeff Neal's mugshot. Okay? And there's even a picture out there. There's even a picture out there with Ian Garry holding his kid with his girlfriend laughing in the background, wearing Jeff Neal's mugshot as a t-shirt. It turns out that his wife, Leanna Machado, whatever her name is, she designed the t-shirt. Now, so these are just details to throw out there. So what do we know about Ian Garry? He's a brash shit talker. He's a brash, loud, cocky shit talker. He's putting people's mugshots on his t-shirt. I'm sure that's a day that Jeff Neal wants to forget. I mean, I know this is the fight game and you're supposed to make money somehow. And Jeff Neal had to back out of the fight. That's why he ended up fighting Neil Magny. Jeff Neal had to back out. I don't know if it was injury or whatever. But the point is, Ian Garry, loud, brash shit talker. Got that? We got that part down, right?
That's where we're at now.
That's what I knew about him before any of this happened. So I don't know anything about Neil Garry's personal life. The only thing I had heard...
You mean Ian Garry?
Yeah, my bad, Ian Garry. The only thing I had heard is that he got kicked out of a gym.
That's what I heard.
They don't really... Yeah, Leon Edwards, he was training at the same gym Leon Edwards was
I heard the same thing.
A lot of the theories were... a lot of the theories were that he was going after Leon, so they didn't want him to train at the same gym as Leon. Turns out to be not true at all when everything unfolds. So it turns out his girlfriend, his wife, not his girlfriend, is like his manager. And she basically has like cameras following him around all the time. So he was going to the gym with cameras with his wife.
Yeah, guys.
And they were basically saying like, you know, so all of a sudden, I don't know that. I didn't know that then or why he got kicked out. All of a sudden, Sean Strickland, which I'm sure you can end up pulling it up at some point if you want to watch it. I don't know if you saw it. Sean Strickland makes a video. I guess he posted on Instagram. And he talks about Ian Garry being sucked in by this succubus, his wife. Because he was like,
dude, Sean don't give a shit.
Sean was like, yo man, this is bro code. I saw you at New York. We saw her. She was wearing the titty tassels. We all saw it. She was hot and blah, blah, blah. They were together. He was talking about, but Sean Strickland mentioned that his wife wrote a book called How to Be a Wag.
How to do what?
A wag?
I didn't know what it was either. It's a wife and girlfriend to a sports star.
Okay.
So she was always like I looked at her background. She was a sports reporter. So basically, people are taking it as she wrote a book on being a gold digger to be with a sports star.
It does kind of sound that way.
Now, it does. I actually listened to some of it because there's an audio book to it. I think it's a tongue-in-cheek book. I think it's actually a joke. She publicly came out talking about that book, saying it was satire. And listen, it could be satire, it could not be satire, but the point is like, you know, when you go out on a limb and talk shit on other people, whatever can be used against you is going to be used against you. So it turned out that, yeah, that's the video.
I know. I'm pulling. We gotta look at it. Let's wait. I gotta hear it. After you said that, I gotta hear it.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
You guys, I never talk about anybody's spouses, but this shit ain't right. It ain't fucking right. I gotta talk about it. Ian Garry, I remember when I met you, dude. It was in New York. You were this fine-ass girl. She had the little nipple coverings. We all fucking seen it, right? Everybody fucking seen it. But I remember thinking to myself, there ain't something right about that girl. There's something about that woman that ain't fucking right. The way she walked, the way she looked, the way she talked, I knew it. Now I'm finding out you're 26, she's fucking 40, the ex-fucking husband lives with you, you took the last name, motherfucker, she wrote a book on how to be a wag. I didn't even know what a wag was until now, dude.
Me either.
This shit ain't right, dude. She's a succubus. You gotta run away, bro. Hot girls are a dime a dozen. We'll get you one, we'll get you ring girls, we'll get you two at the same time, bro. You gotta pull the ripcord, man. It ain't fucking right, my friend. You gotta pull that fucking ripcord. I'm here for you, the Making News here for you. Do the right things, Ian Garry. Fucking pull that fucking ripcord.
All right,
wow, bro. That was fucking awesome.
So that's the video that I saw that blew everything up. Now, let's take what he said into context. He did take her last name. His name, if you look him up. But
he took her last name?
Let's back up a little bit. Now, this is the question we're going to ask. So I'm going to give you the context that Ian Garry explains. He didn't take her last name. He's not
so
Ian.
Her last name is Garry?
No. So let me explain it. So he is Ian Machado Garry. Her last name is Machado.
So no, he's going by Ian Garry, but his last name is Ian Machado.
Right, but
whatever last name is first.
That's fine. What he ended with the way he explained it was.
No, it's not fine. It's weird. What do you mean?
It is weird, but I'm going to give you the context on it as he explains it. This is why it's a good conversation. He said that he took...
Honey, let me get my balls out of your purse so I can tell the story about why I took your last name.
He said he took the last name because she has a previous marriage and a child from the previous marriage. He has both last names, Machado Garry, because he wants the kids who are technically like, you know, half brothers, half sister, whatever it is. He wants them to share their last name. They want to have a common, so he said he did it for the kids. That's just what he said. Now, whether that was her way of sucking him in to do it or that's a legit reason, I personally have no problem with it. But I also don't have a problem with people critiquing him because he's
Did
such
she get down
shit.
on one knee and propose to him?
Yeah. Now,
I'm just saying, did she give him flowers? Like, what the fuck, dude?
And also, the fact that, okay.
I'm old, bro.
She's 40,
Old.
he's 26. What do you think about that?
I'm older than she is. What the... I mean, age, whatever. Who cares? I mean, for real, it's a little bit of a cougar thing, but whatever. That shit
It doesn't. You can make inferences. Like, you could say...
But, hold on. It don't bother me. But do I believe the whole succubus thing could be a fact here? Oh, yeah.
I mean...
What the fuck? She wrote a book about wags, and here she is. Now I'm using the acronym now.
I just think it's odd. How does an older woman... I guess it could happen. Again, I'm not judging it. My whole thing is like, an older woman, you know, man, you're 24. I don't know when they met. He was 23, 24. You have your whole life ahead of you. You might be a sports star. Like, go live your life.
Don't waste it. Don't waste your life.
Some guys ain't about that. They get that thrown down on them, son, and they're like, I need it forever.
I know, but it's like, you don't really see, you see it, but you don't really see like women dating like really young men, because the mentality is usually like, it's just my opinion. This is my opinion. Mentality is women are smarter than men.
He's easier to control, bro.
Women are smart, right? So people can make those inferences. People can, and it looks like she is controlling what he's doing. When we get to the video,
Dude, this is my first time hearing all this shit. It's blatantly obvious that she's fucking controlling that dude. I've only seen like 3 seconds of what's going on here. I mean, dog, if you took her last name, I don't care what the circumstance is, bro. There's no chance I'm taking it. No, not against you women. Not against your last names. But I ain't taking it.
That ain't gonna happen.
That's not the way it goes. That's not how the world works.
you're absolutely right. Again, you could look at it as that's fine. I personally don't care what people do, but you could also make inferences, and those are the inferences that we're making.
Fair enough with your inferences. I don't give a shit. I don't care. This dude, that's weird. I've never heard that until today. I was years old when I found out that a man would take a woman's last name.
So he says in the video that her ex-husband lives with them. I found out that's not true, but the ex-husband is in the picture. The ex-husband of hers.
How?
He is his.
Why the hell would he be living there? That's friggin' weird.
He's not living there, but he is Ian Garry's nutritionist.
What?
And he has Ian Garry on a vegan diet.
Yo, y'all need to stop fucking with this young man's head. That's what's happening here. This husband and wife are fucking with this young man's head. I mean, what's to say that the ex-husband and wife, they ain't still smack? I'm just, what? This is all too close for comfort. I'm with Sean Strickland. Succubus.
So
run,
now,
motherfucker. Go get a ring girl or two.
What does Ian Garry do?
Hell?
What does Ian Garry do? Or his wife? We don't know. So after Sean Strickland makes that video, he DMs... Ian Garry DMs Sean Strickland on Instagram. And I'm sure that conversation could easily be pulled up, but he basically says to Sean Strickland, you know, I'm just letting you know, like, this could be, like, he basically threatens him with a lawsuit. Like, this could be defamation and all this other stuff. Right.
So now you're acting a whole bitch.
Your kids are soft. You lack discipline.
And Sean Strickland was basically like, I would have respected you more if you said you wanted to beat my ass. Basically is what he said.
Yes! You're a fighter! You're a fighter! What are you...
So it turns into... Now, but here's the deal. Was it him or her? She's older. He's younger.
It's her regardless. Even if he wrote it, that's her.
She's going to the gyms with him. There's interviews where he's talking and she interrupts the conversation. She's heavily involved. So now that takes us to this current video on Instagram. Every single person on the internet is shitting. People who do MMA stuff, they are shitting on Ian Garry so hard. They're making videos every day. He turns the comments off. She's making videos.
They're all on this one.
So I was told he's basically taking them off, but maybe they're back on. He really did turn the comments off on everything at one point. At one point in time, he did. He might have the comments on this one. That's fine. But now let's watch this video. And just
I'm getting cringed out. Like, this is not the way I expected this video to go.
No, watch this shit.
Here we go.
They hate the way you walk. They hate the way you talk. They said you're just a McGregor fanboy, that you never reached the top 10. They hate your wife, they hate your family, and they even hate the food you eat. They said you're just a hype train, that you get kicked out of every gym. They hate that everyone is talking about you. They hate that your brand is booming, that you have cameras on you all the time. They hate that you're interesting, you're entertaining, and they really hate that you're undefeated. They hate the way you run things your way. They hate the way you win, and win some more. And they hate that on December 16th, they'll all be watching you win again.
So, first of all, none of what he said is true. Nobody hates the fact that he's undefeated. Nobody hates the fact that he's doing it his way.
That.
He's the one that chooses to have cameras in his face. Listen, overall, he's a great fighter. He's an up and coming really fighter with a lot of a good future. He's a good prospect. But nobody's shitting. I didn't hear one person shit on his fighting. People shit on his brash nature.
I didn't hear that.
People shit on how he is. You saw when he beat Neil Magny at the end of the fight, he was giving him the finger. He showed you that clip in his own video. He wore the mugshot. He talks a lot of shit. So basically, what everyone is saying is, you're a huge shit talker. When shit gets talked about you, you threaten to sue, you turn your comments off, and you make cringy reaction videos that is obviously written and produced by his wife. Her fingers are all...
His wife, yes.
They hate the fact that you're winning.
Yes,
Not one person came out and said, man, I really hate the fact that Ian Garry's winning. First of all, he's undefeated. He won all his fights before all this shit came out. Like, people are just talking about the facts of it, and they're laying it out. That's all they're doing.
Fact. That's a good word for this. Fact. Fact it. Fact her.
You know, and then he keeps taking L's.
I'm so confused.
Like today, somebody found a still shot photo of him smiling, and he has a giant herpes on his lip. And now they're saying like she gave him she gave him the ex-husband's herpes.
Oh no!
Thank you. Whoa!
Obviously, we don't. It just doesn't stop.
Tell me the ex-husband has herpes. Tell me the ex-husband has herpes.
Well, we don't. Again, it's all speculation. It's fun to talk about, like conspiracy theories. However,
if the ex-husband has herpes and my man comes out with a herpes on his lip, I'm done.
I think that
Ian Garry, if he were to ever see this, Ian Garry, if you're watching, if you ever somehow, we should do hashtag show Ian Garry this video. He needs to see this, okay? He needs to stop reacting to what people are saying. People have made up their mind. The internet is going to make jokes.
Yes.
That's what the internet does. But
and the more you push it, the more it's going to come right back at you.
What is the positive here? People are speaking your name. When The Rock first started being that babyface Rock and people were tired of it, people were chanting Rocky sucks. He wasn't getting over, but he was invoking some sort of emotion. But what Ian Garry needs to do is he needs to lean into it hard. Be the heel. Pretend like it doesn't bother you. Talk brash.
Yeah.
Talk shit. Go at people. Tell Sean Strickland you're going to show up somewhere and beat his ass. Be the bad guy. Because
that's
at the
what
end,
he should have done, dude.
At the end of the day,
that
people are already shitting on you. You're not going to be able to change it. The more you go, like, the more they hate me, the more they hate me, the more I'm motivated. They hate the way I speak.
Stop making those cringeworthy Instagram videos.
They hate the way I talk. If he just keeps winning and he leans into the heel, eventually, depending on how much he wins, he's going to turn face. People are going to turn around and like him because he's a good fighter.
I am literally going to fucking name... He is now no longer Ian Garry to me. That is Ian Machado.
Listen, Mr. Machado.
Yes, listen to what we're telling you. If you want us to not call you Mr. Machado, fix it. And yeah, lean into it because that's
he's
how you
got it. Because no matter what, look, let's just say he beats Vicente Luque, leans in, he's heel. It's not a fight that's going to make everybody love him, right? But let's just say he's already the heel. He's talking shit. Well, whoever he fights next, because people don't like him and they don't like what's going on, they're gonna buy it. Ian Garry's gonna go from undercard or possibly main card to co-headliner because of all the stuff that's on him. So you know what, man? If you're planning on winning, you're 14-0, you're an up-and-comer. If you're planning on winning, this could be made into a blessing. Stop making it into a cringeworthy, like you're getting banged up the butthole, because you're taking L's left and right. It's time for you to take them L's and turn them into some W's. When you start coupling that with all the other facts, there's some stuff there. You're like, listen, Mr. Machado, Mrs. Machado, you look very good for 40 years old. I have no problem I have no problem with these people. I'm just giving him advice.
I don't either. I just think this whole thing is freaking weird. Same here. I'm talking a little shit. But yeah, it's weird. I'm sorry, dog. I don't know, man. Just call me old school. I don't believe in that shit.
Lean into that,
Next
Conor
thing you know,
McGregor.
she's going to be coming around and she's going to be opening the car door for you, bruh. But I want to know what you guys think about it. What do you guys think about this whole Ian Garry and Ian Machado thing? Because
listen,
it's weird to me.
Mr. Machado, make sure you tell your wife to keep the toilet seat down at all times. Okay.
Yeah.
She likes to leave it. She likes to leave it up. She likes to lean in. She don't even like to sit.
Hashtag Ian Garry watch this. Even Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland, he needs to see this too. Because I'm with you, Sean. I'm with you, bro. Go ahead and tell him, champ. Tell him again.